Hey all wonderful people, it's Evilise and I'm back with some more Marincess content. So first off, I wanted to thank everybody for the support on the first video that I posted on this channel, which was the Marincess deck profile. Seeing people liking it, commenting, sharing, retweeting, supporting it was just amazing, and I just want you to know that I super appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to making more content on this channel as I go. So if you're digging it, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I would be eternally grateful. And let's get into some combos. So for this, we are just going to start with your bread and butter combo. This is if you only have your best normal summon, which is Marincess Blue Tang. So Blue Tang on normal or special is able to foolish a Marincess monster to the graveyard, and when she's used the material for a link summon of a water monster, not just a Marincess, but a water monster, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Marincess card to your hand if you excavated one. So she is an amazing card, and I'm going to show you what we can just do with one card. So with just a Blue Tang, we're going to get 2 disruptions. So you're going to normal summon your Blue Tang, and Blue Tang's effect is going to foolish a Marincess Sleepy Maiden, which is how I feel, because I am perpetually sleepy. We're going to link off Blue Tang into our Sea Angel here. We can go about this a different way, but I'm just going to show you this one for now. So Sea Angel's effect is going to be able to add a Marincess spell to our hand. Now, in most situations, we can also chain block with Marincess Blue Tang to excavate cards, but we're not trying to get lucky here, so let's grab our Marincess Dive. Now, Dive is a new card that's coming out in Duels from the Deep, and this is a card that reborns from graveyard, or it can special summon from deck if you have your field spell up. But for now, we don't have that, so let's just do this for now. Let's bring back either one, doesn't really matter for this part, because we are going to use these 2 to go into our Coral Anemone. So now Coral Anemone's effect allows you to special summon a water monster with 1500 or less attack from your graveyard. So we're going to grab back our Blue Tang here. And now we're going to link off Blue Tang again for our Marincess Blue Slug. Blue Slug on summon is able to recur a Marincess monster in your graveyard back to your hand. So we're going to add back our Sleepy Maiden here. Next, we're going to go into another new card, which is our Marincess Coral Triangle. And then we're going to trigger the effect of Marincess Coral Anemone, because it was sent to the graveyard, and we're going to add our Blue Tang back to hand. Now, we're going to use the effect of Coral Triangle, which allows us to send a water monster from our hand to be able to grab a Marincess spell or trap. And we're going to grab Marincess Wave. Next, we're going to use the effect of Sleepy Maiden, targeting a face-up card, preventing its destruction while Sleepy Maiden is on the field, and special summoning her. Then we're going to take these 2 and go into our Marincess Aqua Argonaut. Now, Marincess Aqua Argonaut can negate a spell or trap by special summoning a Marincess monster that it is equipped with. However, we don't have the field spell up, so you might think that we don't have an equip, but we actually do, because Sleepy Maiden has a graveyard effect, where she can target a face-up Marincess Link monster and equip one. So we're going to equip our Coral Anemone. So with just this one card, we have a pretty interesting board. So this is a spell and trap negate. This will special summon Coral Anemone. And we also have Marincess Wave, which, because we have a Link 3 on our board, we can both activate it from the hand, and it's basically an in-archetype imperm that also makes any of our face-up monsters unaffected by card effects at the point of resolution until the end of the turn. So it's a pretty interesting board, because when Coral Anemone is going to go to the graveyard, you're also going to be able to put your blue Tang, or your dive right back into your hand like nothing ever happened. Pretty fantastic, I think. So, that is your first blue Tang one. Now let's show you another one. So, let's say you got blue Tang here, and you're going to normal summon, and let's say this time we go for a different one. Let's send our seahorse. And now we're going to go into blue slug, and blue slug is going to add us back our seahorse. Seahorse will be able to special summon herself to the zone a Marincess Link monster points to. And then we can go into our Sea Angel. And now Sea Angel is going to grab us our field spell Battle Ocean. And with this one card, we can still, with this setup, we can still make a Link 4 while having Battle Ocean up. So with this, we're going to go into our Splash Mage. So Splash Mage is going to bring back, doesn't really matter, Seahorse or Blue Tang. If you didn't use the effect of Blue Tang before, you can use it now. And then we're going to go into our Coral Anemone here. So Coral Anemone is able to special summon a water monster with 1500 or less attack. And guess what Splash Mage is? So now we have enough materials to go into a Link 4. We could also go into our Aqua Argonaut here for Spell and Trap Negate. Or we can go into our Great Bubble Reef, aka Great Bubble Beef, to be able to do some more stuff here. We can use our Battle Ocean, and we can equip some Link monsters because Battle Ocean allows us to do that. And for every monster that's equipped, the Link monster gains 600 attack and also 200 attack boost from the field spell itself. So our Great Bubble Reef is sitting at 4600 attack right now. And during the standby phase of the next turn, and during each subsequent standby phase, as long as it's on the field, you can banish a water monster from your graveyard or field to be able to draw a card. So you'll be able to do this. You're going to go to the end phase, you're going to go draw, standby phase effect of Bubble Reef. You can banish a Seahorse and then draw a card. Oh, we got another Seahorse. What about that? So that is another combo that you can do with just the one blue Tang. And there's one more that you could do, where you can do blue Tang sends Sleepy Maiden, and we do the same thing basically here, where we're just going to do this to grab our dive. Dive effect is going to special summon back our, doesn't matter really, because we're still going to go into our Coral Anemone. We could also go into our Splash Mage here, and we can use the effect of Splash Mage, bring back the blue Tang, use this to go into our blue Slug. And the Slug effect is going to add back our Sleepy Maiden. And Sleepy Maiden can target our blue Slug. And then what we could do here as well is we could go into our Marincess Marble Rock if we really want to have some more recursion here. Because it can add a Marincess card back to our hand once per turn. And then we can go back into our Aqua Argonaut here or a Bubble Reef. Doesn't matter too much, it depends on what you're feeling for that. And you do Sleepy Maiden, equip Marble Rock. So this is another possible board that you can do. There are a lot of different options because you run 3 Link 4s in this, as to what exactly you would need to do for this. So that is our blue Tang combos, and I'll do a couple more as well. So that's what happens when you draw your best starter, or you're able to get into your best starter. But you don't always have that, and sometimes you just have like Spring Girl. Spring Girl is a great extender, but she's not really a great starter card. But here I'm going to show you that any Marincess level 4 or lower monster is still a pathway to a disruption and making your monsters unaffected. So you're going to normal summon Spring Girl, and then you're going to use Spring Girl, go into Sea Angel. Sea Angel's effect is going to be able to grab you your dive, and remember that you can also chain block with Spring Girl doing her mill effect if this is the crucial part of your combo that you want to make sure resolves. So then you're going to use dive, and you're going to special summon back your Spring Girl, and then you're going to go into your Coral Anemone here. Anemone's effect is going to be able to special summon back your Spring Girl, and then you're going to link off your Spring Girl for your Blue Slug, because this is going to put the Spring Girl back in your hand, which is very important for this next part here. So then you link these two off for your Marincess Coral Triangle. And you're going to use the effect of Anemone to put Dive back in your hand. And then you're going to use the effect of Triangle to send Spring Girl and put Wave in your hand. So you started with your worst starter. However, you still ended up with a Link 3 on the board, a Monster Reborn in your hand, and basically an in-archetype Imperm that can be activated from your hand and will make her unaffected by card effects for the duration of that turn. And the very interesting thing about Coral Triangle is if she gets outed, but your opponent doesn't end you because you have a ton of hand traps or something, she has a really cool graveyard effect where you can special summon any number of water link monsters from your graveyard whose total link ratings equal 3. So what you could do here is that, let's say they out your Coral Triangle and you're left with nothing on the board. In this situation, you can banish Coral Triangle, special summon back Anemone and Slug or Angel, doesn't matter too much, and you can just rebuild right from there like nothing ever happened. It's really cool. So that's if you have any level 4 or lower Marincess monster, it'll still do this. So you can have Mandarin, you can have Pascalis, it'll still do this same combo. So here's what can happen if you have a good extender in your hand. So in this hand we have Blue Tang and we have Spring Girl here. So in this one we're going to be able to end on a Link 4 and a Spell and Trap. Well, 2 Link 4s and a Spell and Trap negate. So we're going to normal summon Blue Tang, and Blue Tang's effect is going to be able to send our Sleepy Maiden again. So then we do the same thing. We go into our Sea Angel. Sea Angel effect is going to be able to add our die back to hand. Remember to chain block with Blue Tang because you have a pretty good chance that you're going to see a Marincess card out of those 3. You're going to do your dive, and then you're going to special summon your Blue Tang, your Sleepy Maiden. Doesn't really matter once again. Then you're going to do these. Now you're going to go into Splash Mage here. And then you're going to use the effect of Splash Mage to bring back your Blue Tang. Now you're going to use this, and then you're going to link this off for your Blue Slug. Slug effect is going to be able to add back your Sleepy Maiden to your hand. Then you're going to link these two off for your Coral Anemone. Your Coral Anemone is going to be able to special summon back your Splash Mage. And now we go into the girl herself, the Great Bubble Beef. And then with the effect of Coral Anemone, we're going to add back our Blue Tang. Now we're going to use the effect of Spring Girl to banish a Marincess to special summon herself. So it might seem strange, but we're actually going to banish Coral Anemone here. And we special summon her. Now, Great Bubble Reef has an effect where it gains attack. 600 attack every time a monster is banished face up. So this card is hilarious. I had a game where Great Bubble Reef had 16,600 attack because the opponent was on Lightsworn and they were playing Fairy Tale Snow. It was really funny. She was also unaffected, which is something I can show in a little bit too. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to use the effect of Great Bubble Reef because this girl has 3 effects. We're going to send our Blue Tang, because we already used her effects this turn, to special summon back our Coral Anemone. And then we're going to use these two for a link into our Marble Rock. You can also go into your Coral Triangle here to get a Spell and Trap negate. Marble Rock is going to add back your Blue Tang to hand just for follow-up for next turn. And then you're going to use the effect of Sleeping Maiden, targeting either one. She's not going to stay on the field, so it doesn't matter too much. And then you're going to go into your Aqua Argonaut here. And you're going to use the effect of Sleeping Maiden Engrave to equip your Aqua Argonaut with your Coral Anemone. So now we have a draw during our opponent's standby phase. We have a Spell and Trap negate, and that's also going to special summon Coral Anemone. And if Coral Anemone or Aqua Argonaut gets sent to the graveyard, this is going to add back our Spring Girl or our Dive, whichever one we want. So it's like nothing ever happened once again, and we can just rebuild right from there. And finally, for the last preset combo, this is going to be an unaffected combo. So this is going to end you on a Link monster that is unaffected because of your field spell. So we're going to normal summon our Blue Tang as we did before, and Blue Tang effect is going to send our Seahorse here. And we're going to link these one off for a Blue Slug. Blue Slug effect is going to be able to add our Seahorse back to hand. Seahorse effect is going to special summon to the zone a Marincess Link monster points to. And then we're going to go Sea Angel. And Sea Angel effect is going to be able to add our Marincess Battle Ocean to our hand. Now, activate Battle Ocean. We special summon Spring Girl by banishing Seahorse. And now what we can do is that we can go into Marincess Crystal Heart here. And then we can go into our Coral Anemone. So Marincess Crystal Heart, while Battle Ocean, so Marincess Crystal Heart is unaffected by monster effects while it's in the EMZ. And Battle Ocean, when a monster is linked into the EMZ using Crystal Heart as material, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So what we're doing here is we're going into our Coral Anemone. So a lot of times in your combo, your opponent is going to want to imperm your Coral Anemone. But if they don't really read the cards, and you summoned it with Crystal Heart, have fun. It's not going to work. So they can imperm this, and you're just going to bring back your Crystal Heart anyway. And then, here, you can either go into your Coral Triangle, which is going to get you your Spell and Trap negate, or you can go into one of your Link 4s. Oh, excuse me. Coral Triangle is going to get you your in-archetype imprint. It's going to make you unaffected by monster effects. You can also go into your Aqua Argonaut for a Spell and Trap negate, or you can go into your Great Bubble Reef for a draw. Or you can go into your Wonder Heart if you want some battle prowess. So let's say we just go into our Coral Triangle here. And because Coral Triangle was special summoned with our Marincess Crystal Heart, it is unaffected by card effects. Your opponent's activate card effects, excuse me. And then you're going to use your Battle Ocean. You're going to equip these three. Doesn't matter too much, just make sure you equip the Coral Anemone. And then you're going to use the effect of Triangle, sending Tang to add a wave to your hand. So now you have a monster that's unaffected while the field spell is up. You also have an in-archetype imperm that'll make it unaffected as well, just in case the field spell goes away. And if this board gets broken, then you're just going to be able to use Coral Triangle to special summon back Coral Anemone and one of the Link ones to just rebuild your board from there. So this deck is super resilient, and once it gets going, it really doesn't run out of resources. So those are kind of like your preset 1 to 2 card combos, but here's a random test hand, and I wanted to show what this deck can do when it's kind of firing on all cylinders. So it doesn't look like the most amazing hand, because we do have a little redundancy in the double Ghost Ogre, but this is still really strong because we have 2 extenders. So what we're going to do is normal summon Blue Tang, and Blue Tang effect, we are going to send our Seahorse. So now we do this, we go into our Blue Slug here, we can chain block here, Blue Slug chain link 1, grab the Seahorse, and then Blue Tang chain link 2. Let's see, do we grab anything? Oh, we got a Battle Ocean. So now we're going to be able to special summon from deck with our with our dive because we already have our Battle Ocean in hand. So now we're going to do our Seahorse. We're going to go into our Sea Angel. Our Sea Angel is going to grab us a copy of Dive because we already have the field spell. So this is going to be just about like the best board that this deck can end on, really. So now we're going to use Dive, and we're going to use Dive to special summon a Marincess monster from our deck. We want to do this here because these two are both ones that can special summon without there being a Marincess monster necessarily on board, because she can special summon the Battle Ocean, so we'd still be able to get a good board even if we got Nibiru right here, which would be unfortunate. So now we're going to go into our Crystal Heart here. So Crystal Heart is unaffected, and we're all good here. You want to use your Battle Ocean here just to check for a Ghost Ogre, because they might want to Ogre your field spell, and you'll be able to add it back to hand in the course of your combo if that is the case. Now we're going to use Crystal Heart and our Sea Angel to go into our Coral Anemone. And then we're going to use Coral Anemone, and we're going to bring back our Crystal Heart. Remember that it is currently unaffected, so you can't imperm it right now. And then we're going to use these two to go into our Great Bubble Reef. And we can use the effect of Coral Anemone. We can add back whatever here. I'd say we should just add back our blue Tang. Now use the effect Battle Ocean, and you want to specifically equip these three. You don't want to equip the Wonder Heart because we're going to need that for the next part in the combo, and you want the Coral Anemone equipped so that you're going to be able to send it, or if it gets sent, then you're going to be able to recur a card back to your hand. So here, you're going to use the effect of your Spring Girl. You're going to banish your Crystal Heart here. Gives a little attack boost to your Bubble Reef because it gains 600 every time a monster is banished face up. And then you're going to use the effect of Great Bubble Reef to send your blue Tang and special summon your Crystal Heart. This card has so many effects, it's really cool. So now with these three, these two, you're going to be able to go into your Coral Triangle. And you can use the effect of Spring Girl, and you can Foolish a couple of cards, and burn your opponent for a little bit of damage if you're going into time or something. Now, you're going to use the effect of your Mandarin. Target this. Then you're going to use the effect of Coral Triangle. And you're going to send your Sleepy Maiden, and you're going to be able to get a Marincess Wave to your hand. So this is your in-archetype imperm, will be able to be activated from the hand, and will make all your monsters unaffected. Now because we already used Coral Triangle, we can do this, and go into our Aqua Argonaut. Little attack boost, and then because we have our Sleepy Maiden engraved, we can banish her to equip our Aqua Argonaut with either one of these, our Coral Triangle or our Crystal Heart. So now we have the two hand traps that we started out with, and we also have we have our imperm in hand that'll make us unaffected. Our field spell already makes Great Bubble Reef unaffected. Our Aqua Argonaut is a spell and trap negate that will special summon the Coral Triangle. So we are just living it up here. It is a pretty good hand. So that's what happens when you can kind of be firing on all cylinders with this deck. So that's really it. That's the bulk of the combo video. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that, and I hope to see you in the next one. I think soon we'll be covering stuff like Ancient Warriors and Punk. So be sure to stick around and have a lovely day.